Hi, my name is Keith Cooper from No Flight Images. This is a shortish video about how you can recalibrate the screen on this. This is a MacBook Pro, a recent M-series one. It also applies to some of Apple's higher end monitors and displays as well. But previously, if you wanted to actually do a full calibration on one of these, you needed very expensive measuring gear, 5,000 quid's worth at least, kit that not many people would have, and the software to do it and all sorts of things. It didn't do it. But if you now have a Calibrite Display Plus HL, that's a monitor calibrator. This is one that goes high brightnesses as well. You can now use this with no additional software, just using the built-in calibration system in the latest systems on Macs. So I'm just going to go through the process of it, and it really is very simple, but there are a couple of gotchas that will leave you wondering whether it's worked and whether it's fallen over or anything like that. Suffice to say, just leave it be and let it run and go through the process. So just a quick overview of the details of this. These are very different to calibrating and profiling as it would be to normal monitors like I've got elsewhere. These BenQ ones, I use BenQ software because they're hardware calibrated, but you can't really do that on these because the way that Apple does their displays. Now, the displays are very good, and this one here, I'd not done anything much to this laptop since I got it a few years ago. Now, in terms of a calibration here, if you go to the displays control panel, you can see there's just the display here. There's no other displays connected to it. And I've got this, and I've got it set to standard Apple display mode. Now, you can have custom display modes for this, and you can set it up for different brightnesses and things like that, but you're not actually doing any calibration. Now, you can fine tune them, but that needs other software, and I'm not covering that at all. This is about calibrating your display after maybe a year or two's age on it. The backlight will be fading. All LED displays fade to some extent, so you're effectively bringing it back to a factory calibration, a factory level of calibration, but without using the really expensive kit, just an ordinary monitor calibrator. Incidentally, you do not need to use the Calibrite software at all for this. It is just the device which is recognized by the Mac here. So I've got this. If I look at a different setting, I can pull up all sorts of different displays for this. And I can produce custom presets, I can go for various things, I can go HDR and stuff. Now, I'm a photographer, I do prints, I do stills for clients and that. I have nothing whatsoever to do with HDR. So I don't cover any of those settings here, but this is calibrating the actual screen. Incidentally, if you are using a custom setting, so you might use this at a lower brightness for editing or something like that, if that is selected when you do the calibration, in a way that will get the best calibration. It will calibrate everything, but it will be optimized for the one that you've got set at the time. So anyway, that's just from the display there. If I open it up, I can see there are all the different settings, and I can actually I can copy one of these. I can just select one and then add, and then I can alter it. So in this one instance, I'm making one, I called it Photography P3 D65 L100 H2.2. Now, the L100 is just because I'm setting the brightness of this screen to 100, just on off chance I want to use it for editing. The standard display modes on this are far too bright for normal photo editing. But you've got various options you can change here. I've set this to a P3, which is the native gamut of this display. If you've got one of Apple's big displays, you can set it to Adobe 98, or you can set it to native, which is, rather than being called native, is called I think it's P3-Adobe 98 or something like that. Anyway, it's a bigger display space. Not much difference, but if you want to set things to native, and I do normally when I'm calibrating these displays, you do it to that. Incidentally, I can change the gamma here. It's called pure power here. I haven't looked up what that actually means, but it's a gamma of 2.2, which is fairly standard for these systems. You could use the a video-oriented gamma, or you could use an sRGB one, which is slightly different in the shadows. But unless you know, like most of these systems, unless you actually know what you're doing and have a good reason to change it, the defaults are often a good choice. So I do that, and I can set the brightness. Now, well, I've just typed in 10 here, and it gives me options to set for the brightness between 48 and 600. Well, I'm going to set it to 100 because that's this display that I'm making. I've now got it appearing in the list. Next thing, I'm going to call up the calibration mode in that list there, and I've got three options. I've got the full calibration, which is what I'm going to do. I've got the fine tuning of a calibration. Now that needs other software to get measurements that you put into it. Look in the notes. I'll put a link through to Calibrite's page, and they've got links to more information about setting things for this if you want to do this in more detail. And then there's visual fine tune. Well, I don't think we'll be bothering with visual adjustment on that, not since I've got one of these. But anyway, we're going to go for the full calibration. Now, for the full calibration, it says do it in a dark environment, so I did it in a darkened room. Normally when I calibrate monitors, the brightness I've got here is okay. I do turn the lighting down just in case, but it does say here that you need to connect this. This will be identified. You'll get asked if you want to allow connection to it. That's fine. For the calibration setup, it's detected this particular colorimeter and it's going to use it. And that's it. There's no other settings at all. Those settings I showed at the start, they were just about setting a custom setting that I would do normally anyway. But we do this, and as standard with these calibrators, these are screenshots taken off this laptop here, but you just hang this device in front. There's a counterweight on it. Take the cover off. There's a felt front on this that won't damage your screen. Just leave it laying on your screen like that, so it's touching at that point there. And once you've done that, there's very little else to do. You just tell it to go off, and there it is. So this is the laptop downstairs. It's actually dark. This is taken with a flash, and you can see I've set it up there. First thing it does when you do this, it spends about half an hour with the display at absolute maximum brightness. That's warming up the display and making sure it's thermally stable. Even if you've been using it all day long, it will still take half an hour at full brightness, and it will just do that. There's no feedback anywhere. You just have to sort of leave it. So this is the first one where you're thinking, has this fallen over? Is it working? No, it just wants to warm everything up and get everything running properly. So that's with the screen cranked up at full brightness. It then does the usual monitor calibration stuff where it changes color. There's a green one, there's purplish one, and after a while it stops, and then it does nothing. You just get a black screen for a while. I went off and made a cup of tea or something like this, and when I came back, it had finished. There's nothing saying calibration finished, cooling the screen down or anything like that. It just goes black for a while. So this is the second potential gotcha where you think, has it crashed? Has it just stopped? No feedback. So yeah, but that's using the screen just on here. Now, there we go. This is what comes back after a bit, and lo and behold, it says it's now calibrated. Calibration completed. There's no other data or anything on it. It just tells you that it's been calibrated, gives you the few odds and ends for it, and that is it. And there you are. You have recalibrated your screen. Now, if you want to use this for editing work and the likes, and you've got one of the bigger Apple screens, you may want to do some fine-tuning and adjustment on it. That is not an automated process. This basic factory calibration, or factory recalibration as it is something that perhaps do after a while, because monitors, as I said, do fade. So that's it. It's a very simple process. if you're not changing any settings or anything, you plug it in, you start it, you go away, you come back, and it's done. And there it is, taken back to that. Now, if anyone's got any questions, do let me know. This is the only sort of modern Apple display I've got here, so I can't show examples on external monitors and things like that. The Apple monitors are a little bit pricey for my liking. I did used to have one years ago, but that was years ago. And I use these big BenQ ones now. There's this one, 27, and there's a couple of 32-inch ones as well. They're hardware calibrated, so that's why I use those. But there you go. It's a lot. All you need is one of these, and that's a Calibrite Display Plus HL. So this one will do it high brightness displays and things as well. Have a look in the notes. I'll put some links to various other info and so that may be of help. But yeah, you can recalibrate your displays. I hope that was of some interest, and thanks for watching. Bye.